Hi everyone, Mark Caffarelli here again. I'm going to show you guys today how to use tasks in Gmail to organize what's going on. I think it's really a great tool to keep in mind and to stay organized. Some of you might not even know that this tool existed. I actually didn't until very recently, and I found it to be incredibly useful for staying on top of all my upcoming tasks. So to get to Google Tasks, you just simply need to pull up your email. So for example, here's one of my emails in my inbox, and then you'll notice on the right side, there is a little calendar. You might have Google Keep right here, which I'll talk about in a different video. And then right here, there's this little icon, looks like a pen, and this is Google Tasks. And what's really great about it is that it is embedded within Gmail and also Google Calendar. So any tasks that you put in, you can also assign them a date and a time. So it's actually super helpful to stay on top of items that you need to get done. So let's look at how this works. So if we click on tasks, it's going to ask you if you want to add a task or not. So the very first thing that you want to do is first think about how you want to organize your tasks. You can create a list of tasks to do or not. So let's just take a look at how this would work. For example, let's say I have a list that I want, I don't know, maybe to do for 8th grade science. That's going to be one of my lists. Maybe another list is to do for my Project Lead the Way class. I also teach. And then to do for astronomy, which I will be teaching this year. Okay, so I have 3 different lists basically, as well as like a kind of general catch-all just called my tasks. So whenever you create a task, you're going to assign it to any lists that you have. So for example, let's add a task. So let's add in, I don't know, review student work, review student homework from, let's say it was from yesterday. Okay, so I've typed in an item for me to do. You can then click Edit Details right here, this little pen icon. And here you can add in some extra details if you want. Maybe it's like an explanation. This assignment was about, etc. Maybe any other notes that you want to add in. You'll see it automatically selected the list that I was already in, to do for astronomy. Okay, I can easily change it to a different list if I wanted to. And then the cool thing about tasks is that you can actually add a date and time as well as any subtasks. So maybe let's say we want to definitely do this today, so July 21st. Let's say we want to do it at a certain time. Maybe we want to review it before 5 o'clock tonight. Whether or not it will repeat, let's leave that not checked off. When we click OK, we can even add in a subtask. So for example, anything that's related to this review student homework. So maybe post grades for homework, for example. Okay. You can add more than one subtasks, maybe send Google Classroom reminder to, I don't know, look at grades, something like that. Any other subtasks that would relate to this overall task. And then the cool thing is that this is already saved. I don't need to do anything. It saves basically in the cloud. If I click this back arrow, you'll see that our tasks are now viewable. I can even click out of this. It goes away, but if you click back into the tasks, it will be there for you to look at, which is pretty nice. So obviously, if we click into a different list, we won't see anything because we haven't posted anything to this list. What we did post in was for astronomy. Okay. Now the cool thing is, because we assigned it a date and a time, if we go into our Google Calendar, you'll notice that, first of all, you need to make sure that in your My Calendar section on the left side, you have this tasks checked off. Okay, and now you'll see this reminder for today at 5 o'clock that we should definitely be reviewing student homework from the day before. Okay, it even gives you some detail if you want to look at that. You are told what list this was for. And then you could, even if you wanted within Google Calendar, you can mark it as complete. All right. Back in the email, let's say that 5 o'clock comes and goes. We've posted the grades. If you check that off, you'll notice that a little animation comes up and it sort of checks it off for you and removes it from your task list, which is really cool. So if you check off a subtask, each of the subtasks gets removed because you've completed it. But if you complete the overall task, that will mark complete all of the subtasks that are associated with that overall task. So let's say that we actually, in fact, did do everything we were supposed to, and now it looks like all of our tasks are gone because we completed them all, which is pretty awesome. Now, if you ever wanted to go back and see any of the tasks that you did complete, you can look at the bottom. At the very bottom, it says completed. If you click that little arrow, you'll see the list that has each task item crossed off, which is pretty helpful to sort of remind yourself what you completed and what you haven't. The other really awesome thing about tasks is you can actually link in any emails that might be useful for you accomplishing a certain task. So let's look at this email, for example. It's from Project Lead the Way. It's about distance learning. So if I want to remind myself to review this email or do something with this email, once I've clicked into an email itself, you'll notice at the top there's a bunch of options, okay? And you will notice this icon right here with a check and the little plus, it's an add to task button. So when I click that, you'll notice that this email automatically got added to my task list. And I think since I was in astronomy before, it added it to the astronomy task list. But let's say I want to edit that. It's actually not for astronomy. It's for my Project Lead the Way course. And then, like before, I can add a date and a time to review it. Let's say I want to review it before Thursday. Let's say I'm not really concerned about a time. Click OK. Now it's in my task list, which is really great. And if I go to my calendar, you'll notice the tasks for my calendar are in orange. And if I actually click, this is the task that populated into Google Calendar. If I click on that, you'll see that the title of the email was what we want to do. We want to learn more about Project Lead the Way's distance learning. We could easily change that title if we wanted. It was just simply the title of the email. And actually, the really cool thing about this is it actually links to the email that you originally linked it to. So if you see this view related email, if I click on that, it will open up a new tab. And this new tab will have the email that that task was linked to, which is super convenient and really helpful to stay organized for, if you have a lot of emails you need to get through and you need to do something with, this would be a great tool to use to accomplish those goals. So tasks, it's pretty straightforward, I hope. But once again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I really like using tasks. I'm the type of person that likes lists and crosses. I like to cross things out when I complete them. So this for me is really awesome because it's all synthesized across the Google products. And actually there is an app for Google Tasks that you can get for your phone or tablet. And once you sign in with your school email, you can do the exact same things like I just talked about. And that will sync across the cloud. So if you download the Google Task app on your phone and you add a task on a desktop browser, they'll sync to and from. So that's a really great way to stay organized. All right, guys. Hopefully this video was informative, and I will do another one soon. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.